lot about our browser extension tool. It's called VMX. It's an analysis tool that helps you accelerate the sell-through rate and the advertising that's going to your vehicles. So we built this tool about 2 or 3 years ago now. Recently went through a rebrand. It's available in the Chrome store as well as in the Safari web store. It's an opportunity for you to analyze every single inventory item with market data, with individual VIN data, and it allows you to, on the spot, boost inventory, multiple pieces of inventory all at once. So we're going to get started. Happy to answer questions, happy to take people through demos at the end of this. So once again, my name's Alex, just come find me. So a couple things we're going to cover today. First, we're going to cover, what is VMX? What is the tool? What does it do? Secondly, I'm going to talk a little bit about the technology. How does it work? Why did we build it? Third, we're going to cover the features, and we're going to cover boosting, which is promoting the vehicles on the spot. And fourth, I'm going to give everybody details on how do I get it, what type of promos do we have going on with the tool right now. So what VMX is, it's a browser extension tool. It's found in the Chrome web store. You can see a snapshot of what it looks like. When you're on a dealer website, when you're on any automotive marketplace, when you're in your pricing tool or your DMS, anywhere that has a VIN visible, our technology will detect it. You can click on it and it will pop open this customized report for you on the side of your browser in real time with all of the data about that vehicle. We merge our VIN level marketing demand data in the lens of pricing analysis on any web property. And it's all powered by our Lotlinx artificial intelligence. We've been doing machine learning for about 7 years now. We've collected billions of data points over those 7 years across the entire industry. We crawl every single dealer website. We have access to Google Analytics for our current customers, and we help leverage that for their use. And it's all real time. So this data is updated in real time on a daily basis. So how does it work? So as you can see in the bottom left corner here, when you go to any dealer website or any property that has a VIN on it, even if it's a Google Sheet or a Google Doc that you pop your VIN numbers into, our technology will scan for that VIN. If it's a VIN that we've crawled, and we crawl every single dealer website, we will highlight it yellow, and there will also be a little pop-up in the top right corner of your screen that you can see at the top of the page with the extension icon. When you either click on the yellow highlighted VIN or you click on the extension icon, it's going to pop open the browser extension for you to utilize. So as I mentioned earlier, on any automotive marketplaces, anywhere that shows a VIN on your own dealer website, you can analyze your own inventory, and it works on competing inventory as well. So you can look at any VIN out there. When you're looking at your own inventory, we will provide you with your proprietary information around Google Analytics. However, when you're viewing competition or other VINs in the market, it's all going to be market data. So all you need to do is click on the VIN. It'll prompt you to log into our system. The reason we ask you to log in is to verify that you're part of the dealership VIN you're looking at, so we can give you some enhanced results out of it. So let's get into a couple of the features here. So once you open the tool, you'll see in the top right corner, we have what we call our VIN score. So in this case, it's a ranking of 0 to 100, and it's basically a promotional index. So anything that is under 50 is something that we are recommending that you promote for a variety of reasons, and I'll get into those reasons a little bit later. And so when we break down our VIN score, we always have our dealers ask us, okay, I get that I'm a 24 out of 100. How do you come up with that? What measures do you put in place? So we look at 4 categories. The bottom left, we have demand factors. So because Lotlinx is integrated with every ad platform, with every social platform, we have our own proprietary network of automotive publishers, we have a very good sense of all of the activity that's happening in the market at the vehicle level. And we can utilize that in-market demand to give suggestions to dealers to say, demand is trending up or demand is trending down on these certain year, make, model trims in your location. So what we do with our demand factors is we show how many VDP views this vehicle has had in the last 7 days, 30 days, and lifetime. The VIN we're looking at has only been on lot for 7 days. And then we show how many in-market buyers. So you can see there's 158 people on average over the last 7 days searching for 2022 Toyota RAV4s in the location. You've had 6 VDP views in 7 days. That's not necessarily terrible, but you can definitely increase by capturing more of that demand by boosting and promoting this vehicle. At the top, we have what's called days in lot factor. So what we do here is we look at the days in lot of this vehicle. We look at any other active vehicles you have of the same year, make, model, and then we compare that to the market. So because we have market data, we can understand all of the stocking, all of the sales activity that's happening around you. And so we can suggest and say, hey, the market similar VINs in this case is at 21 days on lot, and the market is selling them in 23 days. Because this VIN's sitting at 7 days, you still have a little bit of time to sell it before you meet the market. But in order to beat the market, you have to promote this vehicle. Then we talk about market factors in the sense of sell down rate. So we look at what you're selling these vehicles down at over the last 30 days. So in this case, 0%, but that's just because the dealer is only holding one of these vehicles. And the market is on average selling them down at 58% over the last 30 days. So the goal for this dealer would be to try and sell it down quicker than the market. And when you have multiple vehicles of the same year, make, model, the goal here is always to promote those vehicles so that you can sell them down quicker than the market will. And then the last factor that we look at is what we call money factors. So we look at the price of this vehicle. Is it within market? Is it above market? Is it below market? And then we list the number of markdowns that this vehicle has had in a dollar amount. We take all of those 4 categories, we weight them separately, and we come up with our index score, which is our VIN score, 0 to 100. So in this case, anytime you see a VIN score below 50, you should absolutely look at that vehicle. You should try and understand what factors are contributing to that score and how we can help you address it. Next section we have is our demand analysis. So as I mentioned earlier, we know all the buyer demand for every single vehicle in the market by location. And so ultimately what we can show you here over a 3-month trailing period is all the number of in-market buyers that we saw for this year, make, model, trim in the selected location over the last 90 days. So as a result, you can understand a trend of where demand is going. So when we're looking at this 2020 graph 4, you can see that it was kind of lower demand at the end of November, early December, and slowly that demand is spiking up. Now, demand is very cyclical. It goes up and down as there's new incentives, as there's new sales, as there's new deals. But what we can see generally here, if you draw a linear progression, you can understand and see demand is increasing on this vehicle. I should be addressing that demand. So what we want to do here is give the dealer the understanding of when is the right moment for me to advertise this vehicle. And when you see a curve that looks like this, when demand is trending up, that's the time that you want to be jumping on that. So next we look at price analysis. There's a ton of fantastic pricing tools in our industry. We look to supplement all the information that you're using in those pricing tools specifically. So because we understand what the average price is for a vehicle in this market, what the last listed price is for a vehicle in the market, where you're positioned, what your market average is, we can basically leverage this data to show you on the far left, what's the lowest price that we're seeing for a 2020 RAV4. On the far right, we're showing what's the highest price. And then in the middle, on the red dot, we're showing here's where you are sitting. And then in the blue dot, we have what's called our AI price. So we analyze all of the market data, we analyze the demand, we analyze how you sell it through as a dealer and say, we think that you could potentially increase the price of this vehicle. Or we say, you know what, you're priced at 110 to market. In order to move this vehicle more quickly than your competition, you may want to think about down pricing the vehicle itself. So we allow you to leverage this data just to better inform your pricing strategy. Again, because this tool works on any website that has a VIN, if you're in your pricing tool, you can click on the highlight, you can open it up, you can see what we understand about that vehicle, what our AI is recommending, and you can adjust your price accordingly. Next, we have what is called vehicle visibility. So this is basically a day by VDP view chart. So in the bottom left, you'll see there's some blue lines. Those represent the traffic that has gone to that vehicle from your Google Analytics data. So if we do not have your Google Analytics data, you just would not have this feature. If you're looking at a competing dealer, we would not obviously show Google Analytics data to competing dealers. So this feature is only available if we have your Google Analytics data. This allows us to show you all the activity happening on this vehicle in the blue lines. If it's being advertised with Lotlinx, you'll see those as bar charts in the red. And then in the yellow line, you'll see it cascades up and down based on price changes. In this case, there's been no price changes on this vehicle yet, but that yellow line will help you understand and dictate that, hey, when I lowered this price, did I get more VDP activity? When I raised the price, did the VDP activity drop? So it's really just giving you an understanding of how much traffic am I actually getting to this vehicle. Now, this vehicle in question hasn't been, it has been advertised up until yesterday. It's getting about 1 VDP view a day. That's not bad. But as we saw earlier, there's 150 in-market buyers that are looking for this car. So this is an opportunity for you to boost this vehicle, accelerate the promotion that's happening to it, to try and sell that vehicle more quickly than you would on average. So we leverage this in order to promote boosts. We leverage this in order to show dealers where they can accelerate the activity that's happening at the vehicle level. Next, we have what's called Stalking Insights. This is a really interesting graph. So because we crawl all the VINs in the market, we can understand exactly what is happening at the vehicle level. So when you look at the graph in the top right here, this is looking at mileage by days on lot. And so what we're highlighting here is on the bottom, we're showing the days on lot of those existing vehicles. And on the right, we're showing the price that the vehicle is listed at. So you can see a little red dot in the top example. That's this dealer's vehicle. 6 days on lot, priced a little bit above average compared to the market. Each of those dots represent other 2020 RAV4s in your local market. You can see the blue dot pops open and shows you here's another vehicle that you're competing with in this market. So anytime you hover over one of those dots, we will show you information about that car. What was the original price? What is the current price? How many total markdowns did they take to get to that price? And then if you end up clicking on that dot, this is a really cool feature. It actually opens up a new tab. It'll take you to the VDP for that other vehicle that you're viewing, and you can open up the tool against that vehicle automatically to see the deeper set of data against it. On the bottom, we show the same set of vehicles, but now instead of organizing it by days on lot and price, we do it by price to mileage. So specifically for used vehicles, very, very important to understand where am I priced based on mileage, where is that average line split. As you can see in this case, the dealer's priced actually a little bit below the average, which is fantastic. That's where you want to be. But again, same feature set here. You can hover over any of those vehicles. You can click on one. You can gain insights about how these other competing vehicles are performing for other dealerships around. The last feature that we have, was a really, really well sought feature by a lot of our customers. When we released this in early alpha, everybody was kind of mentioning to us, hey, is there any way that you can incorporate some of my data from the portals into this report? There's a few reasons for this. One, am I pricing the vehicle the same across all the portals? Sometimes we see cases where they're priced differently depending on the portal, which can create some customer confusion. Secondly, we port in all of the badges. So we go out and we gain information to see on Karpyza, on Cars.com, on AutoTrader, where are you badged at? So in this case, for this vehicle, good deal on Karpyza, great deal Cars.com, and a great price on AutoTrader. So just another reinforcement for a dealer to understand how competitive am I being with how I'm pricing this vehicle. Then we show a column where we list that price. And we also have another feature that you can opt into, which is capturing VDP view data on those portals. So in this case that we're looking at here, this vehicle, since it came on lot 7 days ago, has had 34 VDP views on Karpyza, 7 on Cars.com, and 60 on AutoTrader. Well, how did they come up with that? Well, we can look at the rankings on the far right. So because we have access to this information, we can see when you search for a 2020 RAV4 on Karpyza, this vehicle ends up 56th. However, when you make that same search on AutoTrader, it's ending up 6th. You can see the difference in how many VDP views these vehicles get when they hit the top 10 versus beyond the top 40 or top 50. So you can see the impact that has on your visibility on the third-party portals. So this is something that you can opt into. As a dealer, you own this data, so you can get us in connection with your team. We can make sure that we can provide this for you across all your inventory inside the application. Now let's talk about boosting. So we've kind of gone through the whole analysis all the way from starting with the VIN score, taking you through the price VDP chart, understanding where the demand is sitting on these vehicles, and ultimately, how are they performing on the portals? Well, what's the outcome? So now we've analyzed the car, the VIN score is low, we should probably advertise the car. I've looked at the pricing, we're priced well, we're just missing the promotion, and there's a ton of in-market buyer demand. So as a result, our AI takes all that information and gives a boost recommendation. Now, you as the dealer know your inventory better than anyone else, and you can use this, and we have a lot of customers that use this on a one-off basis to sit there, look at all their used cars one by one, and make decisions. Do I boost this? Do I not boost it? But if you want our AI to do the work, we've been collecting data for 7 years now, you can leverage our recommendation of boost. So if we're recommending a boost on this car, you click the big red button. Sometimes we'll say it's pending, so the machine is making a decision. Should you boost, should you not boost? Or sometimes we recommend to outright hold the vehicle. So in a lot of cases, we've already been advertising these vehicles for a dealership. So they've got $100, $150 in advertising through Lotlinx. We might say, you know what, that's sufficient for now. You should probably hold because you've already got budget against this car. But in this case, the AI looks at 3 specific categories. It looks at engagement. So we track about 20 different conversions and events on every single dealer VDP. And so what we can understand about this car, for the 7 shoppers that went there, how engaged were they? Were they filling out lead forms? Were they viewing all 47 photos that the vehicle has? Were they clicking on other vehicles? Were they viewing special pages? Were they staying on the site for more than 30 seconds? So we can gauge engagement against 2020 Toyota RAV4s. Right now, we call it what's neutral, which is it's not the highest it's been, it's not the lowest it's been, but it's at a steady state of engagement. Secondly, we look at demand, obviously a very, very important factor. And in this case, the demand is high. As I showed you the chart earlier, demand is trending up. Now is the time that you should boost. Our machine recognizes that and says demand is trending. We should take action on this and recommend action against it. And then the last piece that we have here is elasticity. This is elasticity against price. So in this case, we have a low price elasticity. The dealer is marked already below market, which is great. But what we want to do with this is when you see high elasticity, that means that any change in the price is going to vastly impact the amount of promotion that comes to that vehicle. So if you were to have a vehicle with a high elasticity and you were to drop the price by $1,000 or $1,500, that would generate a lot more promotion. So our machine looks at that and says, okay, in this case, we've got neutral engagement, we've got very high demand, the price elasticity is low because the vehicle's already appropriately priced, and changing that price further will not impact the promotion. So we recommend that you should be boosting this vehicle in the moment now. It's still fresh, it's not aged out on your lot, and so you can execute a boost campaign. This is deployed across our entire omni-channel network. So we deploy to all the social platforms, all the ad platforms, over 100 proprietary publishers that we work directly with in the automotive space. And we will go out and we will run a $100 campaign against this VIN over the next 7 to 14 days. So, traditionally when customers work with us, they work in bulk, they work on what we call core AI strategies, which is essentially, let's let the AI decide which used vehicles I should be advertising on a month-to-month basis. It could be filter-based, it could be based on body style, it could be based on aging. But what we're doing with boosts is accelerating. We're not looking to stretch that budget out for an entire month. We're looking to hit it hard now because it'll increase our bid score. It'll allow us to sell those vehicles faster than the market. So what we do is we try and execute that budget, 7 to 14 days, exact same quality standards we have for all of our other campaigns. We're always thinking about what we call shopping intensity in this, and that's ensuring that every single shopper that we send on this vehicle is going to be highly engaged with your VDP. So we don't use a shotgun approach and target audiences that we hope are going to be interested in this car. We use what we call a rifle approach, and we ensure that the buyers that we are sending to your vehicle, those 150 buyers, are low funnel, they're ready to buy, they're going to engage heavily with your dealer website, and that engagement is a sign for us to show how close this consumer is to purchasing. So by targeting that over 7 to 14 days and a $100 budget, that's the way that we always recommend it. Now, when you first sign up for VMX, we're going to give you the first 5 boosts free. So that's for up to 3 contacts at your dealership, used car manager, new car manager, and maybe a GM or a marketing manager. You can get 5 free boosts. So we're going to give you $500 worth of value off the bat. You can come in and you can boost those 5 cars immediately. What do we require out of that? We need GA access. The GA access helps us get you performance information, helps with our reporting, and on top of that, it gives you the VDP price chart, which is very, very important in helping make your boost decisions. And then we need your inventory feed because obviously we need to make sure that we're using the correct pricing and all the images of your vehicle are accurate. So those are the 2 pieces that we require, and you can get your 5 free boosts. Little pro tip, once you get your 5 free boosts, you can enter in your credit card. That credit card will give you another 5 free boosts on top of that. And then from there, it's just a campaign that you can run ad hoc. If you have a used car manager and you want to say, hey, I want to allocate $1,200 a month for boosting, we can set that up at the user level. So your used car manager can boost 12 cars per month. We can give them access to their own account. Again, they can view the VIN on any page on the internet. As long as we have your GA and feed set up, you can execute these campaigns with Lotlinx. You can set budgets, and you can accelerate all of the promotion that's happening against your vehicles. We've seen a ton of dealers leverage this in addition to their standard monthly Lotlinx budget, and it's vastly increasing their sell-through rate and their ability to compete for market share, and specifically for used car, the ability to understand, well, what is everybody else doing with this similar used vehicle, and how can I leverage Lotlinx to help me get above the competition, sell that car faster at a higher price and maintain a higher margin. So this is generally the VMX tool, pardon me. We kind of did a very high-level go-through on that. I'm happy to sit down with anybody in the audience. After this call, we can pull up your dealership, provided we crawl your site, we can provide you information. If we have your GA data, even better, we can get you an account, we can get you in boosting, and at the very least, use this as an analysis tool. Leverage it when you're pricing, leverage it when you're thinking about what vehicles you need to advertise, leverage it when you're allocating your budgets on a monthly basis. So how do I get it? So you can download the extension in Chrome or Safari. So go to the Chrome web store, which you can see pictured on the left, or the Safari browser web store. Search Lotlinx VMX. It will be pulled up. It's a free tool. Automatically download it. You add the app to your browser. It's always there. It's always persistent. Anytime there's a VIN on the page, you will see it light up and highlight. Log in. So if you don't have login credentials, we're happy to give you those login credentials. We want to make sure that you're the only person that sees your proprietary data and that we can tell that story for you. Provide your feed and GA data to enhance your experience and customize it to the dealership. And then just click away. Click the icon, click the highlighted VIN, view the information that we have. We know everything about every car in the industry. Leverage that information to your benefit, accelerate, analyze, boost, rinse and repeat, and you can see a lot of success using this tool. So that was what I had today. Happy to field any questions up here. So, tough questions, easy questions. If anybody has some now, I'll wait for about a minute. If not, if you want to chat after, happy to give you a demo, happy to pull up your dealer website, show some of this in action for you directly. Thank you. Any questions? Come on. Anybody? Nothing. All right. Great. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the show.